It's Throwforward Thursday, and let's talk just a little bit about farming. The picture that most of us have of farming right now is big, sprawling estates far away from the city where the food is grown, and then there is some kind of harvesting process. It's then processed somehow and it is delivered to the city. It's expensive. Farmers are always struggling. There's either too much rain or not enough rain. There's always more money to spend, and unless you're in a massive big agri-business, not necessarily that profitable. That's farming as we know it. And a number of the problems involved with the current farming approach are going to be solved sometime in the future. I don't know how far forward we need to throw ourselves this Thursday, but there are three aspects of farming that I think are going to change in the future. The first is a concept of hydroponics. Now, in last week's episode of Throwforward Thursday, we talked about energy and the fact that in the future, energy might not just be green and clean, but it might also be cheap, even close to free. If that's the case, then we can actually make water. Water is one of the biggest issues with farming and determines where we can build farms and what we can farm. And you can make water. It's two hydrogens and one oxygen, and you just have to smush them together. Not a scientific term, but hydrogen and oxygen are in the atmosphere all around us. We can make water. Why don't we do that? Because the energy required to create the water molecule is not worth the cost of it. But if energy is cheap or even free, then we can easily make water. And then hydroponic farming, which is farming in water rather than soil, where you've got to control the water and you've got to control the ambient temperature, all of which is an energy issue. If all of that can be solved and not cost us a lot, then you can build hydroponic farms anywhere and everywhere on the planet. First solution. Second solution is vertical or urban farming. And this is actually putting farms into buildings in cities. And this is already beginning to happen. There are some buildings around the world. I'm not just talking having a little, tomato patch on the roof. I'm talking literally turning whole floors of buildings, turning skyscrapers into farms. Again, probably using hydroponics as the best way to actually do that. But that allows us to put a significant amount of plant material into a very small geographic footprint and to solve the distribution and logistics problem of having it put in the middle of a city somewhere, which is the third thing, and that is local. And making sure that we turn our farms into something that do not require a massive, costly logistics process to get from the farm to ourselves. We could go further, and next week we're going to have a look a little bit at 3D printing, and we could talk about the 3D printing of food and alternatives to food. But I think we've already said enough. Throwforward Thursday this week is about the future of farming sometime in the future. It's going to look very different from the big farms we know today. For more information about the future, make sure that you subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast, the audio version, subscribe there. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification button so that you get a reminder every Thursday of these Throwforward videos. And if you are able to, please rate us and give us your comments. We always appreciate it. Join us next week for another visit to the future.